Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. It is probably no surprise to you that we are starting over here once again in Akui, where I've been putting all of my inspiration and passion lately because we kind of wrapped up our base for now, and I wanted something different to do. And speaking of different, last time we constructed this amazing theatre in front of us right here, which, let me remind you, was not created by me. It was created by Alpine Shell of the Reddit community. I then took their build, which they designed, and brought it here onto Hermitcraft. And so I was shocked, I was stunned to read so many comments about this little British bumblebee right here, okay? People were telling me that I didn't spell theatre the British way. Well, that's because I didn't design all of this. So it has been spelt the presumably American way or some other way, theatre. We all understand what it is, right? It's a theatre. And when I was looking at some of the reference images, I realized that I missed the movie posters from out the front here, or maybe should I say posters for the show. Those are intact, and later on we're going to put a villager inside of these blocks. That'll be our ticket salesman. But I know what you want to see right now. You want to see the interiors, and I can tell you, well, they're not actually done right now, but I've done a lot of them. We're going to see the main bulk of this. There's B-dubs in the area, walking back and forth, possibly. I don't know what he's up to. He's doing Akui things, like we all are. Let's go inside. This is a remarkable build from the outside and remarkable on the inside as well. Feel these interiors. We got our lovely little confectionery stand over here with sweets and assortments and popcorn being brewed in the back. It all looks fantastic. If I put some potions in there, then that's going to give you some like coffee and hot drink vibes. I think that's going to be cool. Here we got some restrooms, and I need to dye all of the signs. Now, mezzanine, that is like a new word to me, so I'm going to go and look that up. But behind there is the main auditorium, is what I would call it. There's a way to get to the orchestra as well, and then upstairs it goes to other areas which are yet to be built. But the main thing I have been focusing on, oh, look at that. Beautiful. We've got a big old stage covered in banners and red wool, and then an arrangement of seating down here. But if we go into the room and turn around, it's massive. We've also got two balconies as well. And so entering from this unfinished back area, you can see that the view is always very apt to the stage. It's actually entirely viewable from anywhere in here. And the same goes for the top floor too. Dang, look at that, just glorious. I am loving the views. However, this room is missing its final touch, which is a giant chandelier right here in the middle, and that's what we're going to build first of all. You know we like to get musical in these episodes, do a bit of time-lapsing and all that, but yeah, it was like only a few blocks. I was just so impressed by this thing. I thought it looked really cool in the room. I didn't really take into account it's not a lot of blocks. But anyway, this is not all the building that I've done. I've actually finished absolutely everything else that needs to be done inside of this building. And I think it was last episode that I was talking about Efo and his prizes and saying I needed dark oak, right? I mean, this entire thing cost me so much spruce wood. So much that I'd actually spent a bit of time in between episodes chopping down tree after tree after tree to get all the spruce that I needed. I should have been over here playing Efo's game. I'm pretty sure it's a 10. You see? Look. Spruce logs! I could have got them on the cheap over here. Speaking of Efo, he's opened up a new shop in Akui. It is the bottom of this building. I'm not sure he's actually changed the build pattern or not, but anyway, it is open for business, except we have an illager inside, and, you know, this is a great way to run a business. This guy's gonna shoot you. But I've got my shield while I browse the stock. Except I can't because, you know, it's It's not the friendliest of shops. And I'm not sure that I need anything right now. But this is a really great variety of things for sale, isn't it? Get a little bit of everything here. There's some competition going on. I sell some of these things, right? Like the flowers. So anyway, I was thinking I could stand here for a bit with the shield. You know, maybe this guy would run out, but I can't be bothered. There's a turtle egg up there. By the way, if you like the resource pack here with the low shield, vanilla tweaks. That's how you get that low shield on the screen, which is just great. Anyhoozle, I said that the interiors were finished, so we are going to go on another tour through here. I want to show off all the details. We got the restroom, which has been very nicely designed with this toilet in here as well, which is a bit on the large looking side, I must say. And we've seen all of this bit here before, but what I didn't do is go up the stairs. And when we go up here, this lobby area has been finished. You can go through to the first balcony right here, and then you've got two choices of stairs to get to the next one. This one being a little bit wider and open. I was thinking maybe we should put like a painting on the wall around here, add a little something extra, but this is balcony 2. Oh yeah, and you know, great views of Akui from up here as well. Slightly obscured, but looking good. And then at the back here is where that other one hooked up, just like this. Okay, so from here, there is this other door. Performer exit is the name of it. This takes you to all the little balconies like this. So you can look in over on the side. These have a proper name. Someone in the comments, oh, hello, is going to tell me the proper name of that because I've forgotten what it is. Now, in the back area here, there's a lot of like empty space. And so there is this room and one that's very similar just above it. Another balcony right here. And I was wondering, is there anything I should put in these spots? Although the reality is, I don't think anyone's going to come around here and visit. And then when you follow this up, it takes you all the way to the roof area. So what I have done up here is actually slabbed the entire floor, so we don't need to worry about anything spawning. But then, aha, it's not actually finished yet. We haven't put the roof on top. But anyways, there is more to see. There is like this back area here with lots of storage just behind the stage. Obviously, you've got to have a performer's restroom, not as glamorous as the other one. And then there is the side entrance, which we had already seen. This hooks up to the staircase that we were on a moment ago that goes to all the balconies and then all the way to the roof of the building. So going behind the stage, there's actually tons of details back here as well. You can see we've got some books or lecterns on the side, and then there's a bunch of like rails holding everything up. It's actually kind of awkward to see from this angle, but if we go over here, yeah, there's even some anvils being suspended, some weights for pulleys, and oh, it's really cool. I love the details. And that's kind of everything. However, there is this little entrance on the side here, and I've tried to build everything exactly the same as Alpine's design. And I don't know why there's a dragon head here, but there is a dragon head. And the balconies on this side are accessed like so. And there's just simply a ladder with some chests and barrels to get to each of the floors. And that, my friends, is the theatre build. We will now put a roof on this thing, bring a villager over here, and we can say that the project is finished. Well, that was smooth, like crazy smooth, and I've got some tidying up over there to do. I'm also worried about this little guy. In theory, no villager or zombie should be able to hit it, although probably through the corners here it would. So I think I'm going to put some temporary blocks like this in place. But yeah, it's much easier to move baby villagers. Reason being is that the adults try and pathfind to like a block, a workstation, or a bed. And so you get to nudge these into the boat a lot easier. So you saw how I did it in the replay, just kind of getting it in the boat, moving it over here, putting blocks around so it can't escape. And eventually that guy's going to grow up and it won't suffocate in the glass block. So quite a bit of time has passed since I last recorded, and that means that hermits have probably been on in the area, loading the space, and yes, it's now an adult. Excellent, and I will rip these up and replace that with carpet in just a moment. So anyways, I've been thinking about what to do next. This building is gorgeous, however, when you view it from this side over here, it's not quite as impressive, and we've also brought a lot more real estate than we've actually used. So what I'm thinking is that we use this backspace here to expand and make this build even more interesting, and we're going to do this in 2 phases. I figured out a really complementary build palette that will fit around the side here, involving terracotta and some sandstone. So we're going to build something up the side here, and then in the future I've got plans for more building over here. But before we get to any of that, I am planning to do a Q&A episode where I answer all your questions. If it's about Hermitcraft or anything else you want to answer, use hashtag Q&A in the comments down below. Make sure it's Q&A, okay? And then I will be using the filters to search for the hashtag, and I'm going to put together like 99 questions and answer them all in episode 999. Because yes, we are getting very close to 1,000 episodes. I haven't done any resource gathering for this actually. We're just going to wing it off of things that I've got in my inventory. And a while back I went over to Fulce's shop and stocked up on terracotta. You know, I'm usually one to be self-sufficient and mine stuff myself, but lately I've just been trying to buy everything I can locally. So we might try and do that for the rest of this build, but you'll notice that I've added in these markers over here, and that's because we're going to sort of fill up these walls, and I felt like, yeah, let's change that around. But anyway, out the front here, we're going to mix in some granite, and we're also going to mix in some bricks, and we're going to kind of do this like the Rick and Morty. I knew I was going to say it wrong. You know, like when you're sitting here recording and talking, occasionally you know, right, the next word is going to come out wrong. I was so close. Of course, it's the Brick and Morty. So I really like the top of this build. It's wonderful, and actually something I think you could play with a little bit more, perhaps make taller, maybe mix in some other colours, as it's kind of like pale red all over. But up the top there, that's the bit that I think is the most disappointing and could have been done a little better. So what we're going to do is kind of take this aesthetic and mix it with sandstone and beef up the roof part here, which I think is a little underwhelming on this build. Ironically, the very first thing that I find out I don't have on me is some bricks. I don't know if anyone else is selling this locally, but I will pinch a stack. And it looks like we haven't made anything other than a couple of flower pot sales. So you can't really see it from here, but we're not really using a lot of bricks at all. 1 stack will actually probably do the whole thing. We are introducing some acacia wood and jungle wood as well, and these are all just colours that mix together really nice. And as I take a step back in a moment here, you are going to see this thing come together. Now I just middle clicked and I didn't get anything. Right, I'm actually out of terracotta. Let's jump back then. And you can kind of see it. Well, actually, you know, it's not quite there yet because we've got to add proper windows behind here. And I've also missed out the trapdoors at this level. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can see where it's going. And now that I built this up twice as high, it's starting to show itself. One of the things I really like is actually putting in the sandstone wall there. It just ties things a little better. But the top that we're going to put around this thing is really going to make it pop. And then when we actually put the windows in, that's going to help further, because comparing to what I did in a creative world, this doesn't have the charm until you put the windows in. And yes, you know, I build in creative first, then I come over here into survival and build what my imagination has created. And it did not take me long. I kind of had a vision for what I wanted and just went into the world, started building, and pretty much made my way straight to what you're gonna see. And I think after doing a lot of building recently, I've kind of flexed that muscle, so to speak, and so the creativity is just really flowing at the moment. But anyway, this is the roof design right here. We're also going to have slabs up the top, and then what I'm going to do is put in 2 lots of stairs. So one faces down and then the top one faces up, and this is going to go all the way around this thing. So a couple of minutes later, it's all in place. Like I said, this is going to make it pop, right? Yeah, I like that. It's looking good. We just need the windows now to tie it in, because you kind of look through and then see the walls behind it, and it sort of breaks the illusion a little. So I've got a bunch of black glass that we're going to throw in here. And the other material to go along with it is actually going to be birch logs. Although, as you might have guessed, we're going to strip this, as this texture works way better with the terracotta. And look at that, right? The glass just darkens the area in front of the window, and it looks so much better, even when you can see odd things peering through like the sky. It also means that the andesite walls here connect to the glass, and that just gives them a bit more chunkiness, which I like. And you see little bits of yellow again, and I think just having that complementary yellow suits the overall build palette that we've had going on here. And then here in the inside, you can see the windows actually kind of line up in an odd way, but that's fine. We're probably going to end up making these into two big rooms that are sort of attached to this thing, obviously. But if we think about what's behind here, we've got the stage. So maybe we can introduce like a suite area or a hotel type vibe where some of the actors in the theatre are staying over, and that means that we can kind of incorporate it more into the build that we already have. Ah yes, this door is completely missing. I will expect to see a zombie, yep, look, somewhere inside here, holding a door. No, why you got a sword? You're supposed to be holding a door, that's my theory. Yeah, zombies can break doors in this game. That's griefing. We accept that creepers are classic and they can blow up blocks, but zombies can cause a bit of havoc too, so I'm going to have to periodically come around here and replace some of the doors. So I have a little more time on my hands than expected, which means we will actually be decorating these interiors and tying them up to the theatre today. And so we have chess monsters, but also a kind of complete building over on this side. And the way that we're actually going to get to this, right into the wall, is the way that we get to the balconies. So through this little bit right here, you'll see it opens up, and sadly we're going to have to rip out the dragon's head and remove a couple of chests. If you look above here, there's a couple more, but the ladder itself sort of sits neatly on this side, so there'll probably be like a door, and then in you go onto this floor, which, you know, it's very narrow in here. That's one thing that I didn't think about when I was building this. However, I was kind of confined by the shape of the plot, and that's a nice thing to have, you know, some sort of constraints on the build. It challenges you a bit. But yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like in here. And we have those constraints on the inside as well, because these rooms are really small, and it is a bit of a challenge to fit in a bunch of details into a small area, but with the amount of blocks in this game, it can be done. So over here we've got this terracotta transition into the ground floor suite right here, which doesn't have a window on the back side. You can see that we've got our bed, some shelves, and just using many of the different blocks to bring details into this and tell a little bit of a story. This is obviously your lounge area for sitting, and we've got a big old TV here with some odd lighting fixtures on either side. Going up to the next floor, the layout is the same, but I've just swapped over some of the materials and done some of the same things slightly different. So you'll see here that our TV is a big black screen at the moment, and we've got like a big boombox system either side, and yeah, you got the windows over here, so no shelves, but also a bed with a picture above it, and swapped out some of the quartz for wood over here as well. It's really nice. And that is kind of that for now. We will be doing more building around the outside of this, but a small extension to get us started. And I noticed there are some pigs over here. There's a lot of pigs in this area now. I don't know entirely what's going on, but Akui is a pig farm as well now. Maybe this is some sort of prankage going on, because there's more pigs in these plots. It's only some of the plots that are up for sale, and obviously there's a competition going on. Yeah, it definitely smells like a prank. So I have some building around the back here to plan. I've got chess monsters to tidy up, and it's going to take me a bit of time. I think this is a good opportunity to wrap up today's episode. It's been another wonderful one, doing lots and lots of building, which I really do enjoy at the moment. So anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave a like. As always, thanks for your support, and I'll see you very soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye bye!